open discussion on Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. You are live with us on Kibla FM. Log on to our website, www.kiblafm.com, and grab the phone numbers so you can become a part of this discussion. Topic for today: Honorable Kennedy Agyapong or Anas Aremeyaw Anas. Who is the problem? Who is the problem and who is the threat to the peace of Ghana between these two gentlemen? So if you're listening, you're welcome to call in and do the best that you can to, make a point. Just present the reasons why you think one or the other is the problem. We know Kennedy Agyapong is a politician, a member of parliament. Anas Aremeyaw Anas is an investigative journalist. Now they're going at it head to head. So you can call on Kibla FM on this episode of Political Open Discussion on Kibla FM. So the phone lines are open. So if you're listening, you're welcome to call in right away and then bring your point, bring your reasons as the reason why one or the other is the problem on Kibla FM. Kennedy Agyapong, NP, Member of Parliament, Ghana. Anas Aremeyaw Anas, a journalist. Anas Aremeyaw Anas has been doing his job for quite a while, a long time ago. But recently, though, Kennedy Agyapong, he's right on his tails. The Member of Parliament is claiming that Anas is on a journey, or he's attempting, or he's working to discredit institutions in Ghana and to weaken successful people. Anas, on the other hand, he's saying no, foul play. They're trying to condemn him and criticize him or kill him because of the work that he's doing in Ghana. So supporters for Anas Aremeyaw Anas are claiming that the Honorable Member of Parliament is a problem and that he's trying to discredit him so he can stop fighting corruption. On the other hand, Anas and his group and camp are saying no. The Member of Parliament and his folks, they're just not happy that he's fighting corruption. So you're welcome to call in and be a part of this presentation on Kibla FM. Between these two gentlemen, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, between himself and the other party, between Kennedy Agyapong and the other party, Anas Aremeyaw Anas, who is the problem? Who is the problem? Who is the reason why, this tension is climbing high and high? Is it Anas Aremeyaw Anas or is it the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong? The public need to make a point. So if you're listening on Kibla FM, you're welcome to call in and be a part of this presentation. We're going straight up to the phone line. Hello, I say welcome to Kibla FM. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Musa from Amsterdam.
From that's the Netherlands. You're live on Kibla FM.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a very good topic you brought on board. But the whole issue is that Anas is doing a very good job. Mm-hmm. And the work that he's doing is very good. It's a very risky job, but he's doing a very good job. But the problem in there is Anas needs very good advisors who advise and direct him. It's like, his job is like acting a movie. If you don't have a good director, your movie will not go in the right direction. This is what Anas is lacking. But let me tell you something, Faud. Mm-hmm. Anas have seen some loopholes in Ghana, and he's using his job to, chop through his job, using that loopholes to cover some of the things that he's doing. Although he's doing the good job, but he's bad side of it too.
Example. Give us an example. What are the negative part of his work?
Good. Some time back, Kennedy Agyapong show Who Watches the Watchman.
Correct.
I don't know if you remember that. Yes, I was in Ghana. I went there. I went to Medina, Zongo Junction to watch that program. And when after the whole program, sitting down and thinking and analyzing things, you ask yourself, how come did Kennedy Agyapong got all the videos from Anas? When you watch the movies that Kennedy Agyapong showed, It's like Anas is doing something that he have upper hand on the security services. So no one can talk about it because of his investigation journalists that he has been doing.
Mm-hmm.
He is using that opportunity also to do some things that he knows the security services cannot hold him. And this is about the land gas thing that Canada Agyapong brought on board. And if you could be with me, you see the last week or last 2 weeks, you see some videos circulating on social media about Anas going to collect somebody's land, and he was caught on camera and circulating on the social media. I don't know if you've seen a copy of that.
Yes, I haven't seen a copy of it.
Are you with me?
Yes, we're listening.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good. It's true because people have been complaining. Anas has been taking their land from him. Anas has been taking their land from, but nobody have seen it. And what Canada Agyapong showed, and the video that I saw the last time, I can tell you that Canada Agyapong have some points on that. The guy is only doing this investigation journalist and also doing some bad things under his job. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
The last time Canada Agyapong shows Who Watches the Watchman, on the same show, he showed a movie, a very small movie, on a doctor who do abortions, and that doctor also sleep with the women who come there for the abortion. But Anas could not show that movie, did not bring that investigation out. Somebody will ask why.
Are you referring to the piece that some have claimed that Anas took bribe? Is that the piece that you're referring to?
Yeah, yes.
They allege that he took bribe, and for that reason, he did not bring it out. Okay.
Yes. But why he didn't bring that one up? And according to what Canada Agyapong was showing, and after that, what Canada Agyapong talk about it, shows that Anas have a lot of investigations that he have not shown up. Why? Because the people have given Anas some money not to bring that videos out.
Now, here's a question though. A lot of people are saying, they're asking, why is it that it is only Honorable Kennedy Agyapong that seems to be more interested in the Aremeyaw Anas issue? Because you have a bunch of parliamentarians, but out of all of them, he is the one making the noise over the method that Aremeyaw Anas is using. So people, some are thinking, do they have any personal issue outside what we know, the investigative journalism? Does he have any issue with Anas? We don't know, but people are just asking because they thinking if it is that big of an issue, then we should have been hearing from all these members of parliament. They should have been saying something. They should have come out criticizing Aremeyaw Anas. But mostly it is Honorable Kennedy Agyapong making the case. Why do you think that is the issue or the reason or the case?
For what? Let me tell you something. Anas have been investigating the parliament.
Yes, we heard about that. And parliament did not approve to the whole tape to be made public.
Yes. Let me tell you, the reason why the parliamentarians cannot criticize or talk about Anas is because they are eating red oil and they are wearing white jalabia.
The parliamentarians in Ghana?
Yes, they are eating red oil and wearing jalabia. So they are scared that the oil will touch the jalabia, the white jalabia. I don't know if you understand me.
So if they should come out
wearing a white dress,
they should come out and attack Aremeyaw, they're going to get stained.
It does it. It's going to explode. If you say stain is something, the face is going to explode.
So out of these two,
you understand? That's why they cannot come on.
You're making a point, but because, mostly on Aremeyaw Anas, the other party, Kennedy Agyapong, is that gentleman a problem? Because to some, he's a hero who is trying to fight a giant in journalism, and to others, he seems to be chasing some personal, trophy, if you can put it that way. Go ahead.
Kennedy Agyapong is somebody I don't like much. He talks too much. But to be honest, more all the parliamentarian, he's the honest person.
Out of all of the parliamentarians in Ghana, Kennedy Agyapong is the most. Yes. Okay. What makes you say that?
Because he's the only parliamentarian who came out and criticized his own party that the duty is too much. Yes, and nobody from 1992 we start this fourth republic. There's nobody from his own party criticizing his own party that the duty at Mahabo is too much.
So if he criticized his own party, what does that got to do with the credibility when it comes to him talking about Aremeyaw Anas?
Because he's speaking the truth.
So whatever,
he's the one speaking the truth.
So out of these two, Anas and Kennedy, you're saying that the parliamentarian is the one saying the truth.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Kennedy Agyapong came out that Anas is using land gas to take people's land.
He made a mention of that.
And just last month or this month, we saw a video circulating where Anas was caught on a video, right?
How authentic is that video? Because some are saying they're doubtful, others are saying it's Anas. We don't know 100% certain whether that video shows Anas or not.
Yes, but if it's not Anas, all the radio stations or those who are practicing journalists in Ghana or those journalists association, they are all hypocrites. When this video came out, they could not talk. They did not say anything. They should have come out and say it's not Anas.
Why should they say something?
If he's not the one, they should have come out.
Why should they say something? Because some of them maybe do not know him. Why should they come out and say something?
No. Yes, because they use Anas as their hero. Everybody that is going to give a speech or give something about investigation, they use Anas as a hero. They use Anas, for example. So if something like this comes and it's not Anas, why don't you come out and say he's not the one?
But you're saying
you remember Kennedy Agyapong showed this Ahmed Swari. You remember Kennedy Agyapong showed Ahmed Swari?
Yeah, the gentleman that got assassinated. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. When he showed his face, just a few months later, he was killed. And so, if this gentleman show on the social media, if it's not Anas, why don't they come out and say he's not Anas? And what are you somebody go and kill him?
Why do you think the parliamentarian keep showing the photos, or like in the case of Ahmed? After the gentleman got assassinated, some had accused the honorable parliamentarian as being, they're saying he gave them the blueprint to do that evil,
yes.
act. So, and he responded by saying, no, that was not the intention he had. So why do you think he keeps showing the photos if the intentions is not for people to go out there and attack them?
Let me tell you something. I don't know if you have been following Kennedy Agyapong's talking about this Anas issues on his station, on his TV. Net 2 TV.
We've received a few videos that gives us an idea of.
Let him come there. Let him come there. I saw this video that they are trying to trap a minister from Ivory Coast.
Mm-hmm.
In Dubai, all the people working with Anas, all his boys' face were showed. It's only Anas' face who was not showed. I don't know if you see that video.
Yeah,
you can identify everybody, but it's only Anas that you cannot identify. Why is it that Anas is hiding his identity and his people? He doesn't want the people to, the boys that is working with him to hide his identity. Hide the identity.
So are you suggesting that
Because
it's all about Anas? That's what you're suggesting, that he doesn't care about the safety and security of the people around him. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. He have to create some protection for his boys, but he's not doing that. And now, before Kennedy Agyapong show Who Watches the Watchman, there are a lot of videos that came out that you can see most of the guy's face. For the initial stage, I used to support Anas very well. Let me tell you one thing. Maybe you don't know. Nowadays, or since Mill's time, if you want to elect an IGP, the IGP have to go for interview at Anas' place before he be elected as IGP.
We heard the Honorable Parliamentarian Kennedy Agyapong saying something to that extent. How credible is that? Is it true?
Let me
tell you.
Yes,
go ahead.
Yes, let me tell you something. It's because of these land gas issues, and the one time, Anas, what happened? They caught Anas, and Anas called one of the biggest policemen in this police officer. I've forgotten his name. Anas mentions his name, and he says the last time he met Anas was when they went for an interview as IGP position. That's the time he met Anas. And what Anas got to do with this interview? Why should Anas interview IGP to elect an IGP? Why should Anas do the interview?
Interesting.
You see, in this case, Anas have the upper hand. He have an upper hand on the security service. That's why nowadays our security service is weak. Because what Anas was doing and Kennedy Agyapong was doing, they could have investigated both of them.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, on a scale from 1 to 10, who is the problem? Kennedy Agyapong, Anas Aremeyaw Anas. Rate Kennedy Agyapong first, and then Anas Aremeyaw Anas. Who's the problem? Who is a threat to the security?
Both of them.
Now what is the figure?
Both of them.
From 1 being the low, 10 being the highest.
Wait, both of them are not the threat. The threat is from our politicians.
Isn't the honorable parliamentarian a politician?
The politician, including the president. Why they've given Anas that kind of big opportunity to interview somebody to be an IGP before they will elect an IGP. Why Anas have to interview that person before they can elect an IGP?
But you don't have this. You're saying that though. But what evidence do you have handy? What evidence do you have, brother from Netherlands?
Once one of the policemen who went for the interview mentioned it, then it's true.
Okay.
If right now, what they call it, alligator come from the water and say crocodile is dead, are you not going to accept it?
He just came from the water. So
if right now I come from Netherlands, and now I tell you, oh, bro, in Netherlands now the water is coming out from everywhere. Now the water is taking all the Netherlands. I'm coming from Netherlands, so you need to believe it.
So last week we had an interview with the attorney, the lawyer for Anas Aremeyaw Anas, and
Kisi.
Yes, lawyer Kisi, and he had said that since the time that Anas made public the investigation into the corruption, or I don't know, because it's debatable. According to Anas, it is corruption within the Ghana Football Association. Since that time, the threat against his life, increased. People started searching for him, trying to take him out. And then he did not mention names, but he had mentioned that it happened to Ahmed Swaleh, and that Anas is the prime target. And the lawyer himself had said he also gets some of those threats. Do you think indirectly he's trying to accuse the parliamentarian, Mr. Agyapong, of being one of those hunting for them? Because he did not mention names. But do you think that's what he's trying to say?
You see, because of Kennedy Agyapong is the one coming out with facts. That's why, they point fingers on him. But I can tell you, those, how do you call it? Do you remember this film? The lawyers one, how do you call it? I've forgotten that.
You said Kennedy is bringing out facts. So you believe what the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is saying? You believe it?
Oh, no. Some of his facts, when Kennedy Agyapong's fact, he shows movies. He shows the videos attached to it. That's evidence.
Yeah, that makes it very difficult to argue against.
Yes. And so when he comes out and just say it viber and go, that one I will not believe it. He say it and show video. Even he went all that far to Dubai to get the videos of Anas recording this Ivorian prime minister. I don't know if you see that movie. Yes, Kennedy Agyapong's talk with facts and shows movies to attach to it. So to make it more concrete.
There's a caller on the line, and I think he's going to disagree with you. Hold on, and let's check up on that line. Hello. Welcome to Kibla FM.
Okay.
Yeah. My name is Hassan. I'm calling from Paris.
Paris, France. You're live on Kibla FM.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Really, I'm really happy for Kibla FM for this program,
Awesome.
And my good brother too, he really spoke very, very well. And there's certain things he said, really, I agree with him. And certain things too, I will not agree with him.
Okay.
And I can give him like 60% I agree with him.
Oh, 60%, that's pretty good. Go ahead.
I can give him 60, yeah. But what I think between the Honorable Minister, Kennedy Agyapong, and Alhaji Anas, Aremeyaw Anas is all of them are doing good job. And at the same time, all of them are destroying the country too.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Why did I say that is, Honorable PM Kennedy, he said, there's a last time he said something like, people who send him to destroy Anas is the people in politics, in his own party. And he tell the people, he tell the world that he can even call their names. They ask him, he's sleeping around 3 to 4 o'clock with his wife, then call him to go to their radio station and destroy Anas. He say it. So this is a question mark. So that means he's doing a good job, but there are some people in the top who ask him to do that.
Who asked Anas to do what?
No. Who asked Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, to destroy Anas? He said.
Oh, so you're saying the parliamentarian has received an order from the top to destroy Anas?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said.
Who said that?
To destroy him.
Who said that?
Yeah, he said that. I'm sure my colleague friend will justify this one, but I'm sure he hear something like that.
Go
ahead.
If I may come in.
Yes, Brother Modesta. Go ahead.
Yes, he said his own colleagues from parliamentarians who give Kennedy Agyapong informations about Anas. That's what I made the example for you that, the parliamentarians are wearing white jalabia and they are eating oil because most of them know some secret about Anas, but they are scared to bring it out because Anas will expose them. And so then they cannot come out. And so they only give the information to Kennedy.
So Mr. Kennedy, you're saying, is the mouthpiece of the rest of the parliamentarians?
Because they knew he is saying the truth. He's, it will be one thing I like about Kennedy Agyapong. He's not my, I don't know how to say it, but he's not my friend but he's the only parliamentarian who party has come to power twice and never fight for any position,
So he's never,
because
okay, so he does things without demanding or expecting a reward from people.
Yes. Yes. And so everything about him, he's doing like a yeoman's job. He doesn't like you to cheat him or him to cheat you. He doesn't like that. He likes to use his sweat money to do everything. That's why he comes out to speak his mind. That guy likes speaking too much, but he speaks his mind because he knows he's not corrupt or he's not taking money from any other people. But if they want the truth to come out, for me, what I can tell the politicians, and the president included, they should leave the security service alone, like the police alone, to elect their own IGP.
No,
when they are able to elect their own IGP, they can investigate the two of them, Kennedy Agyapong and Anas, and they will see the truth.
I'm not sure they can do that, my brother.
Brother from Paris, you said they cannot do that.
Yeah, no, they can't. They can't. This thing they can't, because why did I say that? Is he have all their secrets in his hand? So what are you talking about? Even the number 12 about the football, Mr. Yatichi called the name of the president and the name of the vice president. There is an amount of money he will give them and blah, 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 blah. So what happened? Nothing happened. So Anas have some evidence against this top. So nothing they can do.
Interesting.
Nothing.
But here's the case. Anas... Mr. Kennedy is saying Anas himself is corrupt, that he's breaking the laws, and you have others saying Mr. Kennedy is also doing the same, because they're saying he should prove to the public the means that he uses to get details about Anas, because they're suspecting that he's also using the back door. They looking at this as another form of corruption. What do you have to say, brother from Paris?
Yeah, really, what I can say is about cash, because he tells people, Mr. Kennedy, I like him. He say anything. If he's doing anything, he say he can use his money and get what he wants. So he can give the money and get the information he wants to get.
So Anas uses cash, sets people, that's what they claim. I'm not saying it. That's what some are claiming. That Anas would, invest his own money, or however way he gets the money. Put the money on the table, set someone up, implicate you, and then, bring you out. Say you're corrupt. They claim that's what he's doing. He pays money to get that footage so he can make it out public. Okay. They also saying Kennedy Agyapong is also paying money to get things about Anas and making them public. So some are saying they're doing the same. Both of them are breaking the laws, or they're stabbing each other. So one has got no right to call the other one corrupt. Brother Mudassar. Yes, brother from Netherlands. Boy, I think we lost our brother from Netherlands.
Oh, my God.
Unfortunate. So because he had said he trusts and believes everything or most of the things that Mr. Kennedy Agyapong brings out. He thinks he has evidences. He does not just come in and sit down and talk. No, he comes out with evidences, things that he can confidently say. He can confidently say, this is, this is enough. This is valid, or this is enough evidence for him to support. Brother Mudassar, you're back on the air. I would like you to answer the question or give a comment as to what you have to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, when we come to where Kennedy Agyapong is getting his evidence or his videos from, I can tell you, if Anas is taking good care of his employees or his boys very well, the videos will not come out. Because he's not taking good care of his boys. That's why the video is come out, because it's all about money talks. And Kennedy Agyapong got all the money to buy everything.
So you're suggesting that people surrounding Anas are the source of all the info coming out? Go ahead.
let me land. You know, Ahmed Swari, the one they killed. When I saw the video, the pictures of his car, the car that he's using, I asked myself, why should him use this type of car? But the type of job he's doing is so risky that he's not supposed to use this type of car. You're supposed to use a very good car, but the car was using a very old car. But I asked myself, why? How much is it being paid? How much are they paying him to do the job?
So you think Anas is not taking care of the people that works for him?
Yes, you need to think. Let me tell you, if your security have to be tight, you need to pay them very well. If not, they will take bribes from somewhere and leak your information out.
Wow.
And let him come. The security service also need to investigate. We know about Kennedy Agyapong, what he does. He have businesses and other things. Where does Anas get that monies from to do investigation? Look at the money that they give it to Kwesi Nyantechi. Where did he get those monies from? This is where we need to check. Where is he getting those monies from? Is it a Western country that is sponsoring him, or is getting the money from his own pocket?
Good question.
And if he's getting the money from his own pocket, what type of job is he doing? Is he having any business apart from the investigation journalism?
Because in an interview that we had with Attorney Kisi, the personal lawyer for Anas, Aremeyaw Anas, he had mentioned that Anas has, people that support him outside Ghana, internationally. So since that interview, we've had people writing and making the comments saying to Kibla FM that goes to prove that he is being sponsored by foreign powers to weaken institutions in Ghana. That's what they claim, but they don't have the evidence. They don't have the concrete evidence to support that. Let's go back to the phone line and bring in another caller. Hello, welcome to Kibla FM. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Abdurrahman. I'm calling from South Africa.
From South Africa. You're live on the air. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. All right, Brafad. I thank you so much for this program, and also I thank all listeners.
Thank you.
It's a very interesting program. Okay, Brafad. The question is, between Anas and Kennedy, who is in the wrong, isn't it?
Who's the problem? Because they each claiming that the other party is the problem.
Yeah. Okay. I think the boxing match that has been going on between Anas and Kennedy has been a very interesting one. And it's good, actually. It's good for something like that to be happening. Because, for some years ago, I thought Anas was doing some good work until Kennedy emerged with some evidences. In fact, until when he did this GFA expose, that is when I started to have some doubts on Anas. He has done, as I said, he has done some good works in the past. And look, Braford, my main problem with Anas's what he's doing is his mode of operation. When you catch a criminal in the act, everybody will praise you because he's caught in the act. But when you then tempt the person to commit the crime, you see, in a way, I will even say you yourself you are a criminal.
The person
for tempting the person to commit the crime. Yes. Because under normal circumstances, if the person is left alone, he will not do that. But when you go and you tempt the person to commit that crime, I see you as a criminal. There isn't any difference between you and the person. And in fact, it is good that Kennedy has emerged because now Kennedy is watching Anas very carefully. And when I look at all the documentations Kennedy has provided, they are legit documents. May Allah forgive Ahmed Saleh. I remember very well when he came with the picture. People were doubting, said, no, this is not the person that Anas is working with, and all that, blah, 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 blah. You know, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate that the gentleman has been murdered. But at the end of the day, what did we see? So, you know, that alone tells you that most of the documents Kennedy brings up are credible ones. Yeah, they are credible.
Which way? Have you authenticated the document yourself, or you just believe in it and weighing it from afar?
No, I've just given you an example of.
Okay, so you're using his track record. Track record to.
May his soul rest in peace.
Got you.
The picture that Kennedy brought out, people were in doubt as far as that picture is concerned. But when he was murdered, then people then started accusing Kennedy of being the brain behind his murder. You see, people were no longer disputing the picture that Kennedy brought out. So that is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that most of the things that he brings out are credible. So Kennedy is not really a problem. The problem is Anas. Bradford, if you are helping your country, and then you did an investigation regarding corruption in the country, what you do not send that documentary to Al Jazeera to telecast for the whole world to see. You see, when you do that, you are tarnishing the reputation of your country. It should remain, your investigations should remain within the country. Then the security officials will deal with it. Because sending it to Al Jazeera, what does it do? Because Al Jazeera cannot come and prosecute those alleged criminals. It's only the Ghana government that can prosecute those involved, not Al Jazeera. So when you send it to Al Jazeera, what you are doing is that you are tarnishing the image of your country. And that is where I have a problem with Anas. I don't know if you get me, my point. You see, so you don't have to send it to the international media for them to telecast for the whole world to see.
The brother from Netherlands has something to say. Go ahead on Kibla FM.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yes, my brother from South Africa is giving a very good point. You know, the reason why he has been sharing his investigation to Al Jazeera and BBC, because all the security services in Ghana, Anas have them in his fingers. You know, they cannot do, Anas know them, they cannot do anything. And so then he knows to go international, because he's the one interviewing the IGP. So what can the rest do? You know, if the whole IGP is under Anas, then his voice is what? It's only a house voice. You know? Yeah, because all the boys in the security services are, you know, nothing. If the whole IGP is under Anas, then after investigation, he cannot give it to somebody who is under him to jail or investigation and see what is going on. So that he needs to go above somewhere more than the IGP. But the whole issue is that the problem we have now is they have to leave the security service alone to elect their own IGP. The politicians shouldn't come in at all. You know, it's time for IGP, for the police service, the security service to help the police service to elect IGP instead of the politicians to elect. And when the new government comes, you need to sack the IGP, and the new IGP comes in and here, there. You know, our security services, we can't use it as like for politics or, you know, like a table tennis where you be playing here, there. No, it doesn't help the country.
Awesome.
Because if you want to know the truth, we need to get a very good security system. Then they will investigate Anas and Kennedy Agyapong. Like I told you, Kennedy Agyapong has bring a lot of fat. He not only speaking, but he bring videos to attach to his thought, and everything goes on like, you know, he have a very good evidence.
So,
and when we get a very strong security system, they can investigate and know where the truth lies.
So, those listening on Kibla FM, you're welcome to call into the program and bring your contribution. So, if you have something to say, you're welcome to call in and bring it on board. Brother Modessa, and gentleman from South Africa,
Yeah.
and the listeners. So, Anas, to many, they believe he's a journalist. He's doing his job. Why should Anas be investigated? What is the crime? People would ask, what is the crime? And if there is any crime, is it criminal or civil? How would you answer the question? What is the crime in what Aremeyaw Anas is doing? Brother from South Africa, take it on.
Bradford, yes, okay. Before I even attempt to answer that question, I would like to make a comment regarding some of the things that my brother from Netherlands just mentioned. Bradford, I do not want to venture into the realm of speculations, but I'm not sure how authentic is the story that Anas interviews police commissioners.
Yeah, we don't have any
wanna
concrete
believe
evidence.
That story.
That's why.
It's not authentic.
Supposedly, one officer had testified to the fact that it had happened before, but that's about it.
No, I don't think that is true. I believe that came from Kennedy Agyapong, but I don't believe that story is not true, Bradford. But what I'm saying is this: even if he assuming without admitting that he has all the security officials in his pocket, then it even makes it easier for him to get them investigate those that are implicated in his investigations and not take the footage to Al Jazeera. That is what I'm trying to say. Because if
isn't
you have
that Al
the security
Jazeera
officials and you know,
isn't Al Jazeera a media platform? Why shouldn't he be able to take it to them?
Bradford,
Go ahead.
it's a media platform. It's a media platform. But the point is this: when you unveil corruption in your country, you do not send it to the international media. We have our local media in Ghana. It should stay there. So what I'm trying to say, those are the ones that sponsors him. And hence, when he finishes his investigations, he's compelled to send the footage to them. You understand me, Bradford? So if he's doing it for his nation, then it should not be sent to Al Jazeera. It should remain in Ghana so that the security officials will deal with it. Will deal with those implicated.
But
I don't know if you get my point.
I do, but isn't the duty of the media, at least one of the responsibility, is to help inform the public, right? So if you have this corrupt behavior in the system, what's wrong with Anas handing the footage to be shown on TV so people become aware as to what is happening within the system? What's wrong with it?
Okay, Bradford, most of these advanced countries has a lot of crimes happening in those countries. But you know what? You will never hear it on those major networks. They don't do that because they want to make sure that the credibility of their country is intact. The people within the country may know about those crimes, but not the outsider. Because for an outsider to know what is happening, the negative things that happens in Ghana, it's only going to paint the country black. So it's not important for Al Jazeera.
What color do you want the country to be painted?
Any outsider, for that matter, to know what is happening in Ghana as far as negative news is concerned.
So to you, Anas giving the footage out to Al Jazeera to be made public, to broadcast, is a big mistake because the gentleman from South Africa thinks that would tarnish the image of Ghana. So he suggests Anas should go hand the footage to who in Ghana?
To the security officials.
So wait a minute. You had said
since he's got them in his pocket,
it's
actually easy for him to get them investigated.
But wait a minute, you and the other gentleman had said that the security officials are in the house with Anas. He had them all secured, and you were suggesting for an investigation to be conducted. Anas should give them the copy of this footage to do what? Come on, what do you expect them to do? Suppose because you claimed on Kibla FM that Anas has them in the house. In other words, they Anas people, the security agencies. That's what you said, right? And then you're suggesting
he
that
he is claiming, not me. I don't believe that story.
When did he claim? When did Anas say that? Because I never heard him say that. When did he say that?
I never did as well.
So why you say? Oh boy, our brother from South Africa, get back on the air. Why are you saying something that you have not heard him say? Because you had said earlier that Anas had them all in his pocket. He has them in the pocket. But again, you're saying you've never heard Anas himself say that. Let's go back to the phone line. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Hello, call on the line. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, brother Fuad.
Welcome to Kibla FM. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Rosie Darling. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
From Atlanta, Georgia. Sister, go ahead on Kibla FM.
Yes. So I would like I tuned in late, but I've listened to the discussion for maybe almost 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I have a couple of points that I would also like to raise regarding this discussion.
Go ahead.
So one of the callers, I'll touch on the issue of Kennedy Agyapong's credibility.
Mm-hmm.
One of the callers based Kennedy Agyapong's credibility because on the fact that he had shown the picture of the gentleman that used to work with Anas that got killed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is bogus in the sense that I know Anas personally. So if I see Anas' picture, I could tell you this is Anas. But you cannot infer from the fact that because I know Anas and I know what or how he looks like, whatever else I come to say about Anas has to be credible. Knowing somebody's face does not mean that you know the ins and outs of what the person does. So that cannot be used as a point to establish the credibility of Kennedy Agyapong.
Okay.
That is my first point. And also, I don't know if people were paying attention. The gentleman that was killed has had interactions with Kennedy Agyapong in the past. I believe it had to do with work. It was work related.
Oh, the Ahmed guy?
Yeah, the guy that passed.
Okay.
Yes. If you followed the incident when it first happened, there was some time they showed, I think they even had a confrontation. They've had some dealing in the past. I guess it was work related or something. So he knew the guy, and there is no doubt about that. So that point aside, so knowing somebody, knowing what they look like doesn't mean that you are credible and you know what they do inside and outside, or even in private or public. That's the first point. The second point is my uncle from South Africa also mentioned some issue about tarnishing the image of Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
And we are all not perfect. I'm not saying Anas is perfect. And I'm not saying if there is any reason for Anas to be investigated, he should not be investigated. My only problem is that people are treating this as if it's just an issue that is happening in a private home. But this issue is broader than how we're trying to tackle it. In the first place, we live in a global world. So there is no news that is local. Even when they say local news, it's just termed local news, but it is an international news.
Correct.
So would we prefer that our fellow Ghanaians who are bold like Anas, I don't think I have the guts to be as bold as Anas is, but are we saying that we prefer that our systems collapse? We prefer that our economies do not move forward. We prefer that corruption eats up our country than being worried about how our country is being perceived outside of Ghana. The perception of Africa in the world is already there. People have reason to have a positive perception. People have a reason to have what? A negative perception. This is the same concept we use. And this is very dear to me, because this is the same concept that we use, that we have children, we have our daughters, we have our sons being molested in homes, and it remains a family issue. You know why? Because we have this same concept. Oh, this is how it needs to be resolved, because when it goes out, it's going to tarnish the name of the family. So I don't think Anas is tarnishing the name of Ghana. I think Anas is doing a really, really good job to help straighten our institutions. And everybody knows that one of the problems of our third world countries, because our institutions are not working. And we are all to be blamed. Our institutions not working, we live in schools with our degrees and not finding jobs are the main reasons why some of us will even travel outside to work menial jobs just to be able to take care of ourselves and our kids and our families back home. So if I, for instance, decide to come to abroad to work, instead of staying in Ghana to work with my degree, does that mean that I'm tarnishing the image of Ghana?
So between the two of them, Aremeyaw Anas and the Honorable Member of Parliament, Kennedy Agyapong, who is the problem? Who is the problem?
So right now, what this question is interesting, because we don't even know what the problem is.
The problem is that they each claiming the other party is breaking the law and doing the wrong thing. Okay, and they're pointing fingers, because if you could quite remember when that gentleman was assassinated, we had the other party saying, "Hey, they did this and that." You know, this party was involved in the whole thing, and the member of parliament said, "No, I'm innocent. I did not tell them to go do anything. I'm just trying to show the world that I know what Anas is doing, and that what Anas is doing is wrong." So that's what he told the public. Go ahead.
So that's what I'm saying. What is happening between Kennedy and Anas, and mostly coming from the part of Kennedy, is a personal problem. Kennedy wants to make a point because Anas has done a lot of work that has depicted him in the negative light. So he needs to defend himself. And if people are blaming him for the death of the other gentleman, they have a reason to. They might not be right. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot accuse somebody of murder when you don't have an evidence.
Correct.
But if you come out and you put somebody's picture out there and the person gets murdered, you might not be the one that murdered the person, but you help initiate or make it easy for that person to be murdered. That is one. And second, they say Anas is the problem because he's breaking the laws. We don't want anybody to break the laws. That's why Anas is doing what he's doing. And they're still not able to specifically pinpoint what Anas is doing to break the law.
They're saying he's setting people up. He's setting them up. He's not waiting for the crime to be committed. So he's trying to, he forces the whole issue so he could get a footage to make public.
Brother Fuad.
Yes, ma'am.
When it comes to investigative journalism, we can't wait for people to commit crimes. Have you heard of people paying money to get their wives and husbands killed? People have paid people to have their spouses murdered for life insurance. And we've had investigative journalists and policemen posed as hitmen who are going to commit these crimes till they gather all this evidence and they get the people arrested. So are we saying that under these circumstances we should wait for the person to actually go commit the murder so we can say he was caught red-handed?
Interesting point.
This argument beats my imagination. We have people that are soliciting younger girls online to go sleep with them, 14-year-olds and 12-year-olds. And they have policemen and they have policewomen online that are baiting these people and they get them arrested before it happens. So are we also saying they need to go to actually commit the act before we get them arrested?
Interesting.
This doesn't add up.
Interesting. Sister from Atlanta, Georgia. We lost our call. Do call back and come in and conclude your statement. Let's go get another caller. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Hello, welcome to Kibla FM. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Prince Ohiampong, calling from Ghana, Accra.
From Ghana, Accra. Go ahead, brother. You're on Kibla FM.
Yes. Yeah, concerning Aremeyaw Anas and then Kennedy Agyapong's issue. I have been following this particular issue for a very long time. And I'm an administrator, but for one or two reasons, I can't really identify who I'm talking from.
Say that. Okay, go ahead.
In fact, I've been following this particular issue for a very long time, since day one. And I don't know whether you are aware that currently another evidence came out that the email.
Oh boy, the brother from Ghana, Accra, Ghana. Hello, go ahead. He has that energy network issue. So I hope the gentleman repositions and call back. Reposition and then call back and bring in that contribution. We would like to hear what you have to say. So call back and bring it on. Interesting one. Let's go get another caller on the line. Hello, caller. Your name and where you calling from? Hello? Boy, that caller is gone. Let's bring in another one. Hello, your name, where you calling from? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Ghana. I'm the one you were talking to.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. We're listening.
Yeah, so I was saying that something just popped up that the email of Anas was hijacked by Kennedy Agyapong. And then you could see the number of successful men and women that Anas has targeted to destroy. And then you can see that he's not helping our nation. So that doesn't mean that nobody in Ghana here is successful. So he doesn't target.
So you're thinking, you in other words, you think Anas is working to discredit successful individuals and weaken Ghana by doing so?
Yes. And then he's doing that to enrich himself. Do you know one thing that I'm saying, that he's doing this job to enrich himself? One, anytime after the investigation, he will just start tickets, call people to come and watch it, and then he will sell the tickets and put the money inside his pocket.
But
so it means that he's doing.
So when he screens the footage from the investigation nationally, does Anas collect money for doing that? Do people have to pay money to go in and watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Never knew that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And even the one who that just even happened out there about the Ghana football situation, President Techi's own. Do you know that the least amount of ticket that he sold was 50 Ghana cedis? That is, when converting to dollars, you are talking of something close to $10.
Wow.
Per person. And then it was shown across the whole nation. So he's doing that thing to enrich himself. And what I don't understand about Aremeyaw Anas journalism is that, after investigating somebody, you don't go and tell the person that I have evidence, I'll have something against you, give me this and I'll drop it out. No, we don't do that. Let the person or the criminal person face the consequences, so that it will be a lesson to others. But you don't just say, I have this, so bring this. Assuming that he told Nyantechi that Nyantechi confirmed, and it's on record and on tape, that he confirmed that Anas told him to bring a certain amount of $150,000. And Nyantechi was able to raise only $60,000. So assuming Nyantechi had been able to give him this amount of money, it's that they're not going to see all this. Things were just going to be a party back.
So he's not. You're saying Anas is now working because he wants to make a change within the system, but rather to enrich himself.
Yes, Anas is working to enrich himself. Because looking at Anas' age, Anas is just 37 years. and looking at the things, I don't want to go into his private life, but looking at what Anas is doing currently, uh, 2012, the judges that he investigated, you could see clearly that there were some judges that years couldn't come out because they were able to pay. And those who were not able to pay, years came out. Do you know one thing? If you want to do a genuine journalism, you don't go and tell somebody that, okay, you say you can do this, okay, do it. Then after the person has done it, then you record the person and then you say the person has taken bribe. No, this is not a bribe. This because we all saw the video, the new video that Anas did. Kennedy brought it out, and then you could see clearly that telling Kwesi Nyantakyi, this is a gift from me to you. Take it. Don't be embarrassed. That's the exact word that Anas uses or Anas used on that very video. And then what I don't understand and baffles me is that after doing the so-called video, you don't allow people to hear the conversation, things that just went on. But the only thing that you hear is the voice note. You do voice over and then put it on the video that he'll be explaining what transpired. We don't want such videos. We want a video that you will hear people saying this and that by themselves.
So, gentleman from Ghana, so you're saying, but others would argue that you are not a prosecutor. So Anas should not be under any obligation to make available to you a copy of the extensive discussion that he had between him and those suspects. They would claim that those materials will go to the court and that you're not a prosecutor. So why should Anas make it available to you for you to justify whether or not he's doing the right thing? Why should Anas have to do that?
Thank you, my brother. For you to, or for people to believe what you are saying and what you are showing, for that we are watching, let the people themselves communicate that I need this before I'll do that for you. Then I can't do this and then I'll do that. Then we will judge that Anas, indeed, the job that you have done is a genuine job, that the person demanded this. Let me send you back just recently, about 3-4 months ago. Another incident happened here in Ghana. There's one minister called Charles Bishop. And then Anas said the man has taken bribe from him concerning a Galamsey saga or something like that. And then the president of the nation told Anas that, Anas, I need the raw footage. Don't edit the video. Don't edit anything. Just let me have it. And then I will pronounce my own judgment. But as I speak to you today, Anas has not been able to submit such videos. But you can see clearly that when Kennedy Agyapong, the video that Kennedy Agyapong brought it out, who watches the Watchman, there was no voice note, there was no voice over. You could see clearly Anas saying that they bought me, says they bought me with $100,000.
Who bought him?
And then they say, yes, I have the video here, so I'll send it to you so that you can just show it to the whole world for the whole world to see.
So who bought him out? Who bought Anas out in that video? Who bought him out?
Thank you. This was the case. A company came from the Western land to Ghana to do a business. I think it was a mining company. And then when they came, they were frauded by another people. So the company hired Anas to go and do investigation so that they can sue these people and take their money back. When Anas went to the people after the investigation, Aremeyaw Anas, those that Anas has dealt with or that has investigated, he took money from them. So when Anas came or went to the so-called attorney, the then Attorney General's office, Anas said they bought me with $100,000, and the case became bogus. And indeed, that very case that I'm talking about was bogus. They were not able to continue on the case. So you could see clearly that Aremeyaw Anas is doing this job to enrich himself.
So on the part of the honorable member of parliament, Kennedy Agyapong, is he part of the whole problem? Because some are arguing that if what Anas is doing is all negative, then we should have been hearing from all these other gentlemen within the parliament, but it is only Kennedy Agyapong making the noise against Anas, and for that reason, they think that he has something personal against Anas, and it's way beyond what Anas is doing. What do you have to say? A minute.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Kennedy has something personal against Anas Aremeyaw. But what I think is that, some in every society, there must be a strong voice, someone who should tell the truth. It's let me tell you one story. My grandmom told me that all mounts, how we know mounts,
Mm-hmm.
a group of mounts decided that they will put a bell in the neck of the cat so that when the cat is coming, it will ring for them to hear, then they will run away. But who is going to do that? So you can see clearly that about all the institutions here in Ghana, Anas has destroyed the institutions. So the institutions are now weak; they can't function. So it takes someone like a bold man like Kennedy Agyapong. I'm not saying he's a genuine man, but from what Anas is doing, you could see clearly that Anas has a special agenda that he wants to enrich himself. So I don't think it is the fault of Kennedy. Kennedy has not done anything. The only thing that I think is not helping Ghana is that Anas Aremeyaw You see, let me tell you one thing. If not Kennedy Agyapong intervention, a time may come that Anas will tell us it is 6 o'clock, everybody should sleep, and everybody will sleep because he has. Oh no, bro, I'm telling you, and it's a fact because Anas something happened here in Ghana not quite long, about 2 months ago. A lady bought a land, and then Anas was I think there were one or two battles with the land, and then the lady reported the case to the police station, and then the police said, "Listen, I quote, he says, if this guy comes for something from you, give it to God."
That's what the police said.
Look at this statement. Yes, that's what Ghana. That's what Ghana police. He said, if this guy comes for something from you, give it to police.
Now, how did you know what was discussed? Who told you that?
Oh, here in Ghana, it's like everybody now is a journalist. Everywhere people go, they have videos and other stuff. So all these things I'm talking about, you don't worry. I'll send you videos of all these things I'm talking about.
That sounds good. Thank you. We appreciate your contribution. The brother from Accra, Ghana. Just wow. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Open discussion. That's right. Political open discussion on Kibla FM. Anas Aremeyaw Anas. The Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Who is the problem? They're going at it. Another caller on the line. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, where you calling from and your name?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Garba from the Czech Republic.
Hello, can you hear me? Boy, that call is gone. Let's go back to the phone line and get another one right away. We only have about 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes. So if you have something to say, you're welcome to call Kibla FM and bring it on board. Bring it on board. Kennedy Agyapong, Anas Aremeyaw Anas. Who is the problem? They're pointing fingers. This party is saying, hey, you are threatened or you're feeling threatened because I'm coming after the corrupt system. The other party is saying, no, you are part of the corruption. Kennedy Agyapong is saying Anas is part of the corruption, that he's doing things outside of the law. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, your name, where you calling from?
Hello, Brother Fuad.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, we got disconnected. So I was making a couple of points. So my other point also is that one of the callers had mentioned that why would Anas send the outcome of his investigation to Al Jazeera? So
Correct.
I think this is one thing that many people don't know about Anas. Anas is not an investigative journalist for just Ghana. He's an international investigative journalist.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done a couple of work for BBC. He's done work for Al Jazeera. All over the world, he's done some investigations for them as well. So him sending the news over there doesn't mean that he wants to tarnish the image of Ghana. That's why he's going to Al Jazeera to have his stories published. And then other people were also wondering what is his source of income that he's able to do all this kind of job. Of course, if he's contracted by international communities or even just BBC, they're not just going to have him do investigations for them and he'll walk out without getting paid. So his source of income, I don't think he will come out to tell you this is my source of income. So he does have a source of income. He's not engaged in any criminal activities to take care of his job that he's doing. And another person also raised a very interesting point where he said if Anas was paying his workers really good, they wouldn't be sneaking out information to outsiders.
Correct.
But what we need to understand is that it is human nature. It's very important you get paid because when you are satisfied on the job, that's how you really do your job as it's supposed to. But no matter how much Anas pays somebody, if another person comes to double it up, if this person does not have any credibility or this person is greedy, even if they're being paid well by Anas, they will still accept some money from somebody else just to reveal some other secret. So people getting out to give his information out is not an indication that Anas is not paying his staff properly. And what we have to understand that the guy is doing a very risky job. And others are arguing, oh, if he has credible information, why doesn't he go to the security forces? This gentleman is investigating people in power. He's investigating security personnel. So how do you think he will just easily, he does take some information to the security forces if he has to, but it's not as easy as just going to the policeman or going to some IGP and saying, hey, I have this information on A, B, and C. So they have to understand that this is not an easy job. The guy is putting his life out there and he's doing as best as he can to help Ghana. If Kennedy Agyapong feels that Anas had tarnished his image and he also feels he has something negative against Anas, that is not an issue. He has the right to prove his part of the story also. But we cannot just limit our argument based on Kennedy Agyapong's relationship with Anas and pretend Anas is not doing anything to help the community and the international community as a whole. So I'm just trying to incite people to start thinking, start thinking. It's not about who we like or not. It's not about the politics, but it's about the job that he's doing. Is this helping the community as a whole? So, and if he is fighting corruption and anybody has the feeling that he's doing something corrupt and they have tangible evidence to bring out, kudos to them. There is no problem for them bringing that out.
Here's the point. Those, on the other hand, on the side of the Honorable Member of Parliament, Kennedy Agyapong, are saying
yes,
they don't have a problem with Anas doing his job as a journalist, but they don't like the fact that the guy just comes out of nowhere and pushes people into, committing the crime. He will push you, put money on the table, choke you to vomit, the corruption, footage for him. He will carry it and profitize, they're thinking it's wrong. The guy would force you to commit a crime. They're thinking you cannot do that. Why? One gentleman told me before this program, he said, listen, Brother Ford, why can't Anas be like, other journalists? Just laid back, take your time, investigate, let the things happen naturally, then record it, and then you can have a case. But you chasing people's parents, very old men, veterans in the system. You chasing them at their offices and pushing them to commit a crime and sacrificing, the long-term services, and some of them even going without benefits, without their retirement bonuses, all because of Anas' hunger. He's hungry to get the footage. He's just starving to get the footage, to make the news, to get people to kudos him, to credit him, and then to clap for him and say, hey, you've done a good job. They're saying Anas is sacrificing that starvation at the expense of the services those people have rendered to Ghana for long term. What do you have to say, sister?
I disagree with them. I totally disagree with them. I don't think he's coercing anybody to take money. If you are doing your job as you're supposed to, and I gave an example the last time I was on your program. If I have passed all my exams and I'm qualified to, let's say, go into University of Ghana, if I go through the admission process and it's a clean and fair admission process, if I entice you with money, why would you take the money?
Oh.
And for him to entice certain people with the money, it means that he's already had some information that this is what they are already doing. So I still can't understand why people think that he is forcing the people to take the money. He's not forcing them. If he puts the money on the table, why do you take it?
Here's one comment that I have to read. Let's go back to our YouTube page, in our Facebook page, and get some comments. Brother Abubakar Kennedy Agyapong has to be prosecuted. Bring him to judgment. For what? I don't know, Brother Abubakar. I don't know what the brother is talking about, because we don't have any evidence. We're not a court of law. But he's calling on that court to prosecute Kennedy Agyapong. And another gentleman, I think Rose Darling don't really know what she is saying. She's only saying the grammar, but she's and let's get another one here. Loco Rashid Hafiz came out boldly to confirm on the side of Kennedy Agyapong that Anas took bribe and he was poisoned few months later from Loco Rashid. And the few that I can read. One more text message that came in. Esther Emmanuel from London. She's listening to Kibla FM from her base in London. Her contribution. I used to be a big supporter of Anas, but then I realized not once has Anas investigated any issue without using his own money. That's one of the points. The sister made a point. She's making a point that not once has Anas recorded one of this corruption or investigated an issue without using his own money to, bribe the person to fall into the trap. That's the problem some have with Anas. They're saying Anas should not be doing that. At least out of all of this investigation, they're expecting that at least one of those investigations could have been done naturally without Anas and his team giving out money. Sister Rose Darling, a minute to respond.
Yeah, Brother Fuad, I have another question.
For me?
I don't know why this line is not going. Do you know?
Boy, unfortunate. That call has dropped. Call back, sister, and bring that question on. I'm itching. Bring it on. Next caller on Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Go ahead. Your name, where you calling from?
You're speaking to Abdurrahman from South Africa.
From South Africa. Brother Abdurrahman, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I like the last bit of my sister's statement when she said that it's not about whom you know and whether you like the person or not. Brother, the fact of the matter is that when you are a proper investigator, what you do is that you catch the person in the act. You don't go fishing for evidence. If the person is a criminal, all you need to do is to catch him in the act. But what Anas is doing, he goes and then he presents the money to them. He exploits their situation. He sees that this person is a poor person. Then he tries his best to present the money, knowing very well that the person is going to accept the money. And he will not even allow his us to listen to the conversation that goes on. And that is problematic. And then also my sister mentioned about the fact that Anas has the right to send his works to Al Jazeera and BBC and the rest. And that is exactly my problem. When you do your investigations and then you send it to the international media, you paint your country in bad light. You don't do that. We have security officials in Ghana. So when somebody commits crime and then you have evidence against them, you need to present your evidence to the security officials in Ghana. Al Jazeera cannot come and arrest anybody or prosecute anybody in Ghana.
But they could
And
help
it's not done
educate.
anywhere.
They could help educate the public though as to what is happening around the world, right?
Brafad, they can only help to put the nation in bad light. Because do you know what happened when this issue of the judges came up? A friend of mine here in South Africa was telling me that he did not know our judiciary is so rotten. So can you imagine that?
Here's a comment from Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria. Abuja, Nigeria.
Yes.
Amina Yusuf. She's saying she is against Anas because if Anas works for Al Jazeera, can he also investigate corruption in their own country and then help them to broadcast it on Al Jazeera? So that's our sister.
Exactly.
She's saying corruption
Exactly.
also happens in the home nation of Al Jazeera. So Anas should at least investigate those corruption and then make it available to Al Jazeera to put on their TV. I don't know if that would happen though. I don't know if Al Jazeera would do that because I don't know. They might. I just don't know. But that's quite a good question. Go ahead.
They will not. They will
Why?
not.
Why wouldn't they?
Because crime happens everywhere. Because they don't want to put their nation in bad light.
So, wow, interesting point.
Because when Anas does these investigations, Brafad, the problem can only be solved within. It can only be solved in Ghana, not outside Ghana. So there's no need for him to send the words to Al Jazeera or BBC.
Ni from Accra, Ghana, saying, is the current caller speaking based on politics because he sounds like an MPP man? That's a comment that just came in. They're saying you're being political. Your views are mostly political, so you're not being, independent in your comment. What do you have to say? A minute.
I believe listeners will bear witness to the fact that I have not said anything that has to do with politics.
Okay.
I'm just addressing the manner in which Anas does his work. I've not even mentioned the name of any politician.
But you had said earlier, you said earlier that Anas has all those agencies, the officials within Ghana.
Exactly, Brother Ford. So let me correct that. I did not say that. I was just repeating what the gentleman said.
So
the
you're
other
not saying
gentleman
it.
from Netherlands.
Okay.
And then I also added that I don't believe that story. I don't believe the story that Anas has all those security officials in his pocket. And then I said that if really Anas has those security officials in his pocket, then it actually makes his job easy to get his victims prosecuted in Ghana. That is what I was trying to say. Because if assuming that you have the IGP in your pocket, as the gentleman was alleging, then it's very easy. If somebody commits a crime, it's very easy for Anas to approach the IGP.
So
that is what I was trying to say.
Another comment came in. Another comment. This one is Baba Dogo, Accra, Ghana. If Kennedy Agyapong is speaking for some other members of parliament, it could be that they don't want the issue to affect them politically. So this brother, this comment goes to I think has something to do with the previous caller from Ghana, because he had said that some of the information that that Kennedy Agyapong gets comes from his colleagues within the parliament, and that they do not want to say anything because they have oil. He mentioned something like oil, palm oil, and they wearing white dresses. So if they should speak, they're gonna get stained. So if that is the case, this caller is saying, the text message is suggesting that the whole thing could be political. Do you agree with that statement? Politically charged.
I don't agree with that statement.
You don't?
Kennedy Agyapong is his own man.
Okay.
And knowing Kennedy Agyapong, he's not somebody, he cannot be a mouthpiece for anybody.
He's very independent, you see, right?
He's just
is that what you're saying?
He's very bold.
Okay.
He's able to say anything.
Oh, okay, that's your view.
You understand? So he's not representing anybody. Whatever Kennedy Agyapong says, it comes from him. He's not speaking for any parliamentarian. He's speaking for himself.
Nana Prince.
So I'm not sure.
Saying.
Sorry?
Nana Prince has a comment saying, why should Anas give someone money, saying it is a gift, and later put a voice over on it and tell us he took bribe? That, to him, it does not make sense to the brother Nana Prince, because Anas, according to the brother, will give you money and say, hey, here, take some gift. $25 or $25. I don't know how many would accept that for a bribe, but let's say, hey, take that $55,000 gift, just enjoy yourself. It's a bribe.
And bro, yes, and that is immoral.
Immoral.
It's immoral.
Okay, it's part of the job, according to so many people.
Because you are exploiting the person's situation. And brother, I need to address something that my sister mentioned earlier on. I did mention that one can trust whatever Kennedy Agyapong brings up, because he did brought the picture of the late Ahmed Swaleh, may he so rest in peace. And people argued that he was not the one. So when I said one can place some credibility on what Kennedy Agyapong brings out, I was not, what I was trying to say is this. People argued that it was not the gentleman. But later, when the gentleman was unfortunately killed, people then turned around to say that Kennedy Agyapong was the man responsible. So my question is, if you did not believe what he brought out in the first place, then how do you turn around to accuse him of being brain behind the murder of our brother? So you see, it doesn't make sense. So such a person, when he brings something out, we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. And most of the things that Kennedy Agyapong brings out regarding Anas, most of them are true. I remember he came up with a footage where I think the gentleman in Accra referred to that. When Anas says that he was bought, it's true. The footage is there.
Bought out by
the
whom?
Footage, Anas mentioned he was bought by the camp, by the. You know what happened, Brafad? There was some gentleman from Ghana that defrauded another company, I think from Dubai or so. They were supposed to buy gold in Ghana. And those Ghanaians defrauded them. And then they contacted Anas to help them investigate and arrest those guys. They paid Anas a sum of money. And when Anas did his investigation and caught those guys, the video is there, he caught them, they were even speaking in Hausa. And then those guys bought Anas. The case was taken to court. Anas, according to Anas, in his own words, he paid the judge to kill the case. And indeed, the case was killed. You can ask anybody to tell you how did that case end up, because those gentlemen were arrested, but nothing happened to them. And then there was a gentleman, he passed also, the late Hafiz. Hafiz was even ready to confront Anas anywhere because he was part of the people that defrauded that company. Yes, and he was ready. He said he's ready to confront Anas anywhere with the truth. But the gentleman was poisoned few months later.
By whom? So you suspecting a foul play?
I'm not saying somebody was involved. I'm just saying that he was poisoned. As to who did it, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate. The death is a very serious thing.
But
I cannot try to.
So here's the point. You saying the honorable parliamentarian, Mr. Kennedy Agyapong, right, speaks on behalf of some of his colleagues. These colleagues, do you think they belong to all corners of the political makeup, or are they from one particular party? Because some are saying politically there is a motivation. So that's the question.
Brother, that is what I said. Those are speculations. Kennedy Agyapong doesn't represent anybody.
He's independent.
He speaks for himself. He's very independent. He speaks for himself. He's not speaking for any parliamentarian. And in fact, some of these parliamentarians even have problems, even within his party, has problems with him. But he's just a bold person, and I like people like that who are bold, who are able to speak their mind. And that is what he's doing. And in fact, it is good that somebody is keeping Anas in check.
You think Kennedy Agyapong is keeping Anas in check?
Sorry?
You believe that's what the member of parliament is doing, keeping Anas in check?
Yes, he's keeping him. Yes, he's keeping him in check. Because, brother, look, Anas. Let's not condemn Anas totally. Anas did some good works in the past. For instance, he did that expose of I think it was the harbor, and the people, brother, those people were caught in the act. And then the fake doctors. He did that as well. So you see, those are things that we can applaud him for. But when you go and entice someone with money and then record the person, you presented the money to him as a gift, and then you recorded him, and then you go to cinema for people to pay and watch it. And then after that, you send it to Al Jazeera. It's a business venture that is engaging.
Brother from South Africa. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar on Kibla FM. Listen, brother, you're sitting down. Someone, approaches you. Let's go out for a coffee. Or let's go get something, grab something to eat. And in the next minute, they present to you $100,000 cash. And they tell you, hey, listen, this is just a gift. This is just a gift. Would you accept it? Wouldn't you suspect something is up? Wouldn't you think outside of the box? Some would ask, what would you say?
Brafad, I will gladly accept it. I'm not going to be a liar and a hypocrite on Kibla FM and say that I will not accept it. I will accept it.
You would accept the bribe?
I will accept it. And not a bribe. You don't call that a bribe. It's a gift.
But look, the size of the gift, though. Shouldn't it be an alarming gift? Because look, $150,000. I just met you. We went out, grabbed something to eat, and I say, hey, here, $150,000 gift. You saying you're gonna take it without thinking outside of the box? Boy, call back that brother and call back. I need to get your response. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. We have 3 more callers to take. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Open political discussion on Kibla FM. Call on the line. Hello? Name and where you calling
from.
Hello,
Brother Fuad.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you kindly tell my uncle from South Africa when he takes that money, I'm into.
You're in, or you get a 50% cut. No problem. He's got you covered.
So, yeah. So it looks like everybody is talking about how Anas gives money or set people up. So I just have a question. It's just a food of thought for all of us listening to this program. So this week, Anas has released another trailer about Abaye. That is the hawker stuff in the market in Accra. And some people are selling on the street. That I don't know if you've had the chance to look at that investigation. So my question is, so my question is,
Boy. Sister, reposition and call back. Reposition and call back. We have the time to take about 2-3 more callers. So go ahead and call back. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh boy, I could hello, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Sheikh Fuad, this is Gariba.
Boy. Go ahead and speak, just in case. Just go ahead and make your point. You're live on Kibla FM.
Yeah, Sheikh Fuad, this is Brother Gariba calling from Czech
Okay,
Republic.
Brother Gariba calling from Czech Republic. Welcome to the program on Kibla FM. Go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's been a nice evening so far, listening to your, audience and the brilliant contributions they are making. Actually, I must applaud Sister Rosie Darling for her, deep contributions. I actually associate myself with most of the points she made. But however, I would like to touch on a few little more points that some of the, callers actually spoke about. Sister Rosie Darling has actually spoke about one of it, which is about the source of funding, because they were asking of where actually Anas got his money from to actually finance his projects and give bribe to most of the victims that have been affected by his, investigations. Let's not forget Tiger Eye PI is also actually a consultancy firm. It is not just there running a philanthropic kind of business. People go there to seek for, a lot of advice in areas of journalism and security related issues, and actually they get paid for it. So I don't think that is actually a valid argument. And like she said, most of the organizations that partner with Tiger Eye actually also pay them. So that issue of where they get money to finance their project, I think should be, we should have a second thought of that. And then the issue of motivation of the staff, it's human nature, like she mentioned. No matter how much we pay people choose when to actually sell their reputation rather than sticking to us. And then the last issue I want to make is, let's not just focus on the name Anas. Let's go to the broader picture. Recently, the BBC actually published an investigation done by some group of women, and the title is Sex for Grades. I don't know whether you've come across it.
We've received a copy. Yes, sir.
Exactly. Sex for Grades is actually, the focal area was in Nigeria and Ghana, but it was published the whole world. So why didn't we question the jurisdiction of the BBC to make such a publication? But with the case of Anas, we are questioning it. An international organization remains international, and a local organization remains local. And the fact that an investigation is being published internationally doesn't mean we are, weakening our institution. It's rather a way of strengthening our institutions. It's a way of making us do things better. If we expose corruption activities in our country to the international world, it is a way of putting them on their toes to do the right thing, to do the better things. Right. The issue of the, GFA thing, FIFA took action with immediate effect. And a whole lot of, countries also have to follow suit, strengthening up their, football sector. You can take the case of Nigeria, to be precise. And the brother from Nigeria, South Africa, I see he makes a whole lot of comments regarding credibility of the member of parliament, who is Kennedy Agyapong, on his investigation. But my question is, who actually scrutinizes his evidence? Who actually scrutinizes that? Because let's not forget, when Anas makes an investigation, he doesn't just bring it out. I don't know, the member of the gentleman from South Africa do mentions that, but I don't know if he knows. Anas doesn't just bring out investigation. When he finishes it, he hands it over to the institutions responsible, including the presidency, to watch before he airs it. So who does that to the evidence of the honorable member of parliament?
But they're saying one of the arguments is that the honorable member of parliament is making available to the public a footage on video, a video footage showing the faces of the individuals having a conversation, and they think that is enough evidence. It is not like one of those pictures, but he's gone further. He's given out videos, so they think that is enough.
All the videos, nothing has been able to prove that, yes, I'm Anas. Nothing has been able to do that. Even the recent video we saw, somebody was trying to say that, yeah, he's Anas. And somebody from the background is also responding that, but Anas, but he's not Anas. So what kind of, evidence do we have to show that, yes, he's still Anas? And the attorney of Anas last week, when you interviewed him, if you recall, he issued a disclaimer on that. What jurisdiction do we have to believe the statement of the member of parliament than that of the investigative journalist, who is actually a professional investigator between the two of them?
Interesting. But
who do we have? And I think another member is also mentioning the issue of the composition of the panel of the committee that interviews the IGP. I don't think this is our decision to make. When you go to the constitution, the composition of this members who interview people is solely the responsibility of some particular institutions who are mandated to be part of it, and some members appointed by the president. So if the then president decides to take Anas as an individual to be part of the panelists, what's the point?
Interesting.
What's the point? Let's not let hatred of some people lead us to questioning the credibility of our president in choosing who becomes what or who does what at a point in time. He's an asset to the nation, whether we like it or not. Even if Anas dies today, he's an asset to Ghana. Like the brother from South Africa affirmed, he's done some works that till his death we cannot discredit it. So the president by that means actually saw that he's an asset and added him to the commission that are supposed to interview the Inspector General of Police. So what's the point in that?
Kwame Nyako from Frankfurt, Germany. Aremeyaw has disappointed me. He did some good, but he is a big disappointment. A comment from the brother in the listening to Kibla FM in Germany. So you can see as to look at it. Some are saying yes. Initially he was on track, but then he went off track. Do you agree with those making such comment that Anas, went off track? Did he change his ways along the way? Do you think he changed his way? Because some are saying they used to like his work and the way he does them, but later on they are having a second thought. Or could it be that the evidences being put out there by the honorable MP is actually shaping the thinking of the members of the public?
Yes, Sheikh Fuad, let's be very, very, diplomatic in our dealings as individuals. I do agree to the, statement that Anas has changed his ways of investigation.
You do,
but as much as I'm concerned, it's valid.
So did he change to a worse? Is it positive or negative change? Because
no. As much as I'm concerned, it's positive. It's just a different strategy he's using.
But listen,
negative.
If it is positive, why are the people saying they used to like his ways and how he does his work, and now they don't appreciate it anymore? They used to like it. So if he has changed to a positive way, why Is it that people are saying no, they don't appreciate it as they used to? That's what I don't get.
It's so human life. It's just about society. There's nothing. Even policy. I mean, implementations. You bring a policy which is 100% credible, but you never get 100% support of that policy. This is just us. This is just how we live. Because I believe that the initial stage of his investigation, the strategy he used, if Anas is still sticking to that strategy, we will not have any investigations in Ghana that is valid anymore, because people definitely know the strategy he used in actually getting the people in the port scandal issues, and they will step up their game. And as a journalist, he has to also be innovative in order to get people who are corrupt still dance to the rhythm of corruption.
But I still don't understand, brother from Czech Republic. I still don't get it. So are you saying all the people that said they used to support the ways Anas does his job in the past, they used to be a big fan, but then the U-turn, they don't trust, they don't agree with the current method? You saying all of them don't see things the way you see them?
But it's not just about me. We still have people alike.
That's true. That's a fact.
I still have like-minded people.
That's fact.
Who also think that still Anas is on point. So until we have that kind of average, where we have majority of people, and let's not even forget, number don't actually validates somebody's position as to whether the person is doing the right thing or wrong. We can have a 70% population giving negative statements about an individual, but he tends to be a positive person. That's why last week when we're having the program, or is it earlier this week, I was making a point of, let's look at the substance of the work, not what somebody is saying. That's why I started by asking this honorable minister, his work, who actually scrutinizes it, his investigations, who actually scrutinizes it. It's not just about a video. Look,
but people are saying people are saying that if the honorable member of parliament has made available a copy of the videos, the footage showing how Anas does the setups, how he does his work, if he's made it out there public, if it is laying out there public, then the next person to make a move is Aremeyaw to say, hey, this and this and that. But when we had an interview with the personal attorney for Anas, he had said they don't have such intentions. They're not going to talk about it because he knows people want to use the info to sketch out Anas's identity. So he did not even confirm whose identity was on that video circulating right now. So look at it. The video is out there, and they're saying that is Anas. And people are saying if the honorable MP has made available a copy of the video, then it should be enough. The next person to make a move is Anas, because they're saying you cannot keep saying bring evidence, and he keep pouring them out there, and then now you're saying do more now that he has a video. Some are saying, what do you want him to do next? Because you say bring evidence, he gives you photographs, different images. You say bring evidence, now he gives you video footage showing someone he claimed to be Anas. We don't say that because we don't know, but he claims this is Anas doing the setup. Because according to the member of parliament, it is not a natural investigation. He pushes people to commit the crime. So you keep saying evidence. What should the honorable member of parliament do to meet that criteria, or to at least satisfy the group that are saying evidence, or that do not like the evidence out there? What kind of evidence are you talking about?
Yes, let's be very, very professional in our quest to, seek for transparency and justice within all the institutions in our country. Because I believe that as a country, nobody is above the law.
Correct.
And when Anas comes out with an investigation, even though he's an investigative journalist, he takes it to the right institutions, even the presidency. They view the manuscript he presents to them before they take actions on the people who are, involved in that particular investigation.
That's right.
So why not? As a member of the, as a lawmaker, he knows it better than anyone else. I don't know if you are aware that when the investigation about the Ghana Football Association was premiered, Anas actually filed a case or a suit against the member of parliament for defamation of character. Are you aware of that or not?
I've heard something like that. Yes, sir.
Yes, he filed a suit against him on defamation of character. So, of course, if his evidences are substantial enough or substantive enough, why wouldn't he do same? He is a lawmaker. He knows the right channels than anybody else. Why not? He should go there. But
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Weakening our institutions in Ghana, but we are blind to the real issues that weaken our institution. This is a member of parliament who comes on his own TV station to issue or to present manuscript and videos about somebody without, approval from anyone else. And he's not a journalist. But we don't talk about that.
When you say approval, whose approval? Whose approval are you talking about?
Media houses?
You saying without approval, the MP shows videos and other, images. Whose approval? Without whose approval?
Of course, he's a lawmaker.
So whose approval does he need?
That is why he was sued on character assassination.
Okay.
If you come and give a video or an image about me and I said I'm not the one, you are actually defaming my character. As a lawmaker, you should resort to the right institutions.
Institution.
The judicial service is there.
So
the judicial service is there. The presidency is there.
To show a video. To show a video or images. The honorable MP should seek approval from whom? I don't get it.
Exactly. He should take this. Videos and images to this institution. This is Anas. This is what he's doing. He's corrupt.
I got you now. Okay.
Take an action against him. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now I got your point. So you mean he's trying to hold a media-like justice system, hold the case on the media instead of going to court.
The law. Okay, I have my own TV station. I have the right to telecast what I want to telecast at any point in time. This is the violation of the institutions we have. This is what we should be talking about.
But he hasn't rendered out any verdicts saying legally. Some would argue that he's making a point. He's speaking as a citizen. He's speaking as an individual with a right to speak.
Not just an ordinary individual. This is actually part of the legislative bodies we have in Ghana.
That's right.
This is not just an individual. This is a lawmaker. So if you should do this, who does it and you hold the person accountable? This is the question.
Interesting.
If I should do that, perhaps I have a right as a citizen, not a spectator. But you are a lawmaker. You sit there in parliament and pass the law, the media, the right to information, the media law, affirmative action bills, and what have you. And this is the same bills and laws you are passing that you are breaking as a person. So
interesting.
Who does what to him? People are just watching him.
On the next episode,
I don't know. He could be right. I don't have evidence to prove him wrong or whatsoever. But what rightful procedure has he passed to? Channel his grievances.
You know what? Get ready. Just get ready, because on the next episode of Political Open Discussion, it's gonna be really interesting on Kibla FM. Get ready, the brother from Czech Republic. We thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. Thank you, appreciate it. Wow, just wow. At times it gets, heated, but in a good way. Gentleman has something that he believes to be right. You have yours. That's why we call it Political Open Discussion. All the views, statements, comments, opinions are yours, not mine, not Kibla FM's. So do justice to the listeners. Say things that you can back or support, or at least, know something about. Don't just throw it out there, because trust me, folks are listening. Smart people are listening. They're going to come after you. We're gonna pick up potentially one last caller, and that's it. We would we would shut down the phone system until the next time we have this open political discussion. Hello, welcome to Kibla FM. Your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you, sir. My name is Takalimi Shehu Ibrahim. I'm calling from Georgia.
Calling from Atlanta, Georgia. You're live on Kibla FM, brother. Go ahead.
United States of America.
Yes, sir.
In the first place, I thank you very much for picking up my calls among numerous calls coming to you.
Yes,
I really
sir.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And secondly, we also thank you for this program.
Thank you.
In the sense that somewhere last week you said a situation of this nature or a topic of this nature will have to be cautious.
Right.
Yeah, if I can quote you right.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means it's kind of risky discussion.
It depends on what you say. Yes, sir.
However, you as a journalist, you took it upon yourself to take this risk to come up open internationally for some of us to contribute. God bless you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Should I understand your topic? Are we talking about the person of Anas, or are we talking about the job that Anas does? I think we have to focus on the job that Anas does than his personal aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the operatus morandus of Mr. Anas. He's a criminal investigative journalist. Let us know that. In international, of course. Every job has its styles of operation. No doubt about that. I hope you hear me, right?
Yes, sir. We're following.
Yes. So if the method of Anas's style of investigation allows him to be a participant as we see it, so be it. We have instances where CIAs disguise themselves as madmen, lunatics on the street, so that when I and you are walking, we see them as madmen. As a matter of fact, they are not, but they have to act like that in order to get information for I and you. Anas, to disguise himself and operate in this manner, is within the law. It's within the aspect of his criminal investigative journalism style of operating. As a lawyer, he knows that. If it is a bad way, trust me, the law of Ghana will have dealt with him. We don't like the way you operate. As at now, we have not seen any legislature from the government of Ghana denouncing the way and manner he does his operation. For that matter, he acts within the law. To add to that, or to support this point, Mr. Fuad, 2008 presidential debate, I hope the world is hearing me. This is a very great point. 2008 presidential debate in Ghana, when His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo was asked regarding corruption. I have it here. I will send it to you through your inbox when I finish. How are you going to deal with corruption in Ghana? Mr. Akufo-Addo is excellently clearly said that there are measures, variety of measures, but he is going to use the one that he calls Anas's principle to ensure that those who are caught in corruption are dealt with. The whole president of Ghana made that statement. He will use what he will call Anas's principle to ensure that he deals with whoever is caught as a corrupt personality. So in this case, if the way and manner Anas Aremeyaw Anas operate is not right, I don't think the entire president of Ghana will use his method of operations. Mr. Fuad, regarding international journalism. Right now, Mr. Fuad is in America. He operates Kibila FM. He's a journalist. By his interfering with Ghana's investigative activities or political activities. So this is to tell you, should Anas reveal whatever he has to Al Jazeera, it's still the same. There's no problem about that. And if you should know the difference between Anas and the one challenging him, Honorable Agyapong, definitely, I don't doubt their patriotism. They all love their country, Ghana, no doubt about that. But the difference is, whilst one is exposing corruption in Ghana, which is Anas, the other one is also trying to expose the one who is exposing the corruption. So who is fair here? And Agyapong's strategy is attacking the personality of Anas instead of focusing on what Anas does. What Anas does, for an example, just yesterday, he released a footage of what we call Abai, where AMA officials are there to sanitize the environment, the streets of Accra, whereby hawkers, those selling stuff on the street, should do it in the right way. It's rather unfortunate. They are collecting bribes, brutalizing them. You know, we can see a lady with a boy or with a child at her back, how they were abusing her, brutalizing her, taking bribes from them. These are some of the things Anas does. It is Anas who disguises himself as a Ofri, just to go ahead and get information how those Ofri people are being discriminated and whatever word you can use. It is Anas who disguises himself to act as a prostitute in circle, to bring us information how prostitutes operate. It is Anas that disguises himself as a mine worker to bring out information of corruption at the mining sector. It is Anas who disguises himself as a harbor, as a harbor worker at Ghana Harbor, to bring us information about how we suffer, some of us here, to send in cars back home, only for us not to be able to bring the cars out due to the high level of taxes imposed. Corruptions all over. Here is the case. Agyapong himself has testified the fact that corruption is in Ghana. It takes place from his own mouth. He says, if NPP government, once again, listen, Agyapong himself said, if NPP government dares him, they want to push him against the wall for that matter, he will reveal the secrets, the corruption that they did in winning the election of Ghana. He said it in one of his statements. Agyapong himself has accepted the fact that corruption has rooted deep inside Ghana and beyond. People of Hanas who has come out with a modern, brilliant knowledge of criminal investigation to ensure our institution is clean from corruption. Now Agyapong is attacking him. We are asking Agyapong not to be attacking the personality of Hanas, but what is it that Anas does? What he does is there. Everybody see it as I analyze few of them.
You mean Kennedy Agyapong?
I wouldn't talk too much. I thank you very much for this opportunity you have provided. God bless you. If there's a question, you can ask me.
Before you go, though, you had severally you had said Agyapong. Did you mean to say Honorable Kennedy Agyapong?
Yes, he is the one attacking Anas. He's the one trying to reveal who Anas is.
Okay,
but
so that was your intention. The intention to say Kennedy
proving
Agyapong.
That there is no corruption in Ghana. There is. He cannot tell us there's no corruption in Ghana. And he cannot tell us how Anas operates. It doesn't fall within the law. It does.
So
Other than that, the government of Ghana will have brought Anas himself in justice for using such method.
The gentleman meant Kennedy Agyapong, the MP, when he said Agyapong. So
yes, the lawmaker.
The lawmaker,
yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. So here's the point, though. A gentleman called Omar Rabiu, he had made a comment, said at that time, they did not know who Anas really was, and that now they know Anas. So he's saying you cannot go back to that presidential statement about referring to the Anas principle as any ground to make your point. Because at that time, all of this information that the Honorable MP is making available to the public was not available. So he's saying you should not make a point or don't think you scored any point by referring to the president using the term Anas principle. What would you say to that, brother?
Okay, I thank you very much, which means any other point is accepted regarding this one. That's his opinion. It's not fact. I will defend myself if you give me a second. Number one, Mr. Akufo-Addo will never come out to say he is going to use Anas's principle without knowing the method or operational strategy that Anas does. He cannot say that. He knows very well. For an example, the strategy that Anas used at Harbor, he's aware of that. And let me tell you, for Kennedy Agyapong to bring a footage of Anas, is rebuilding Anas, is boosting Anas. There are certain things we cannot discuss here. Very soon, you're going to see another powerful revelation coming out from Anas. Very soon, you're going to know. I know what I'm talking about. But in the sense, I'm coming, going back to the question that the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, does not know who Anas is. But right now, we know who Anas is. He is not, so for that matter, is null and void. Who is Anas now? And who was Anas then?
Okay, here's what the people are saying. Here's what they're saying. They're saying
movie producers release footage of their production after whatever they bring public.
Okay, a brother from Atlanta.
Okay.
Brother from Atlanta.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Here's the point. Sir. The people who asked or who made a point saying the president did not know whom Anas was then, but now he knows him. They're making a point. They're trying to say, okay, at that time, during those old days, back in the days when Anas started all of this job, right? They did not know that Anas uses his own money or gets sponsored to pay out the bribe money. They did not know that. And then now that the MP has made the videos public, they probably change their mind. That's what they're trying to say. Now they know him from that angle. That's what I understood from that statement.
Yes, Mr. Host, thank you very much. They got it wrong. They still got it wrong. Why I say that is that it's simple. What they must understand is the whole president of Ghana will never allow himself to make such a risky statement. I will implore Anas's principle. He doesn't know Anas. He doesn't know how Anas operates.
So are you saying, let me push you right here. Let me push you a little bit. Are you saying when the president said, I'm going to use Anas's principle or the Anas principle to tackle corruption, are you implying that he meant to say all of the ways Anas, operates his investigation with? You meant to say all of it? Not selected few, but every aspect of the investigation or the method. Are you suggesting that statement by the president then meant that he endorsed totally the methods being used by Aremeyaw Anas? Is that what you suggested?
So, which means you are telling me right now, if the president of Ghana is aware of how Anas operates right now, he's gonna say no, like how he said yes before. That's what you're saying.
No,
in that case,
yes, sir.
Yes, in that case, which means that he doesn't know him then. Now he knows him, right?
No.
Right now he's not gonna endorse it, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it could be that then he had minimal info. Minimal, not enough. Some would say that if given the chance again, he might not use such a statement because of what is being thrown out there. I don't know. That's what people are trying to say. That's what I understood, at least. out of those statements?
Mr. Ford.
Yes, sir.
2008, when President Obama came to Africa, Ghana, in the Parliament House, and he had a standing ovation and a loud applause when he said, a courageous journalist like Aremeyaw, who risks his life to bring out the truth. I hope the president of Ghana was aware of that statement.
Yeah, I remember quite well. That statement was made. But could it also be that Obama did not know enough about him?
Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency.
Yes, sir.
Definitely is aware of operators' memorandums of Aremeyaw, else he will not put himself in such a risky answer just to pave a chance for him to be the president. He knows how Anas operates. That's why he used that answer.
Wait a minute.
If the president should tell me that, okay, before I did not know Anas or I did not know him 100%. Now that I know him 100%, I may reconsider my first answer, if that is the case. And I already answered that question in the sense that the method of operation of Anas, he himself is a lawyer. The Constitution of Ghana approved that. He wouldn't have used it. Like by now, entire law court of Ghana will have sanctioned Anas. Why are you using such method? They've not called him to court. They have not sanctioned him.
But wait a minute. It is
within the perimeter.
Brother from Atlanta, Georgia.
Investigating journalism.
Brother from Atlanta. Brother from Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Look at this. Let's look at it this way. You're making some point. You know, I'm not going to take it all away from you. You're making some good point here and there. But you drop in some balls too along the way. Example, you had made a reference that former president, U.S. President Barack Obama, had kudos Anas during a statement he delivered at the Parliament House in Accra, Ghana. You had referenced that. And this also goes back to the point that I made earlier, that are you saying that the President Obama knew all of the strategy that Anas uses in his work? Are you I'm not saying that you don't have a point. I'm saying, yes, the gentleman is doing some good, according to some people, and some bad. So they're not taking everything away from him. But example, let's leave Obama out of this. Let's go back to your point. Say, back in the days, let's go back 3-4 years ago. Did you ever, or have you ever seen the video that was made public by the Honorable MP, Kennedy Agyapong? Have you ever seen that video?
Yes, Miss. Up to now, I still thank you very much. I do appreciate this time that we have a healthy discussion, Mr. Fuad. Are you listening to us,
yes.
God bless this station for this bold initiative. In fact, I really appreciate it. Mr. Fuad, I strongly stand by my statement. Mr. President, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo said he would use Anas's principle to uproot corruption. And I still stand by my statement. If the president is asked today, how are you going to uproot corruption or deal with corruption? I still stand with the statement, yes, he is still going to say he will stand by Anas. Do you know why?
Why?
Let me tell you why. As a president, you should know at least the maximum 99% of your constitution, what your constitution say. When it comes to even aspect of corruption and how to deal with it, what method, what criteria are we going to deal with corruption? Journalism is there. Advisors are there. Anasis has been using this strategy, these tactics, far too long, for a long while, that the president is aware of. It's not now, it's not new to him. So he's still going to say yes. And I'm tell you, he knows all the strategy, because all that Anas does is enshrined within the Constitution, criminal investigative journalism. And what people should know is what job or what work is Anas going to do? What is he going to investigate? That he will require certain methodologies such as this. Each job that he does, each investigation that he does are different investigations. And he used different methods. The greatest method is the one that they showed his footprint. Those are minor stuff for them to bring it out as evidence to say, hey, this is how Anas operates to get people. Of course, that is some of his strategy. That is some of the styles. Criminal investigative journalism, journalist aspect. We're talking about criminal investigation. The tools that you use to grasp criminals. One of such is what he does. It is upon I and you, Mr. Fuad, and me, Takalmi Show, to be assured, you know what? I am not a corrupt leader. I will never accept bribe. So whoever comes with trick, the fact that I know I don't promote corruption, I will never collect a dime. I will never. But the fact that within myself I have the spirit of promoting corruption, if it's a dime you give me, I simply handedly take it from you.
I'll have you hold on for a second, brother from Atlanta. You're listening to Kibla FM. My name is Fuad Omar. Those listening on our YouTube channel, remember, hit the like button. Like this transmission. Like it. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. So go ahead. Hit it. The like button. And also subscribe for more notification and updates. Because we for real. A gentleman is on the line. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, caller, your name and where you calling from. We're going to extend this for another 10 minutes. 10 minutes and we're out of here. So like this video, like this transmission, and subscribe to Kibla FM on YouTube. Your name, where you calling from? Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Belford. My name is Abdurrahman. I'm calling from South Africa.
From South Africa, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Broford, first of all, I would like to thank your other guests for the passion in which he's delivering his support for Anas. I really like him so much. Yeah, I thank him. But Broford, I just want to draw the attention of my brother to something. You know, at the time that the president made those statements, Kennedy Agyapong did not brought out those revelations that he brought out now. So if the president had mentioned something to that effect, I mean, he can be forgiven because he was not privy to the allegations that are being leveled against Anas now. And you can extend that to former President Obama as well. They did not know who this gentleman was until now. Even I speaking, you know, I did love Anas so much and I trusted the things that he was doing until now. You know, when I started seeing the evidences Kennedy Agyapong is bringing out, then I started to have a second thought about him. You see? And the judges, the expose of this GFA thing did not happen. Any person who is honest and who is really searching for the truth, if you look at what happened regarding the GFA expose, you will think twice about the modus operandi of Anas.
Interesting.
You see, so I'm just trying to draw attention of my brother. The president was not privy to what is happening now. I think that is why he made those statements. If he had made those statements, because I did not hear it.
So
if he did, and I'm not.
So take it. Let's take an example. And those listening to Kibla FM, like, subscribe to this transmission. If you listening and watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Very important. So just hit the like button. Do it and then subscribe. As soon as we're about to start a program, you're going to get a notification so that you can be a part of it, because we want to listen to your voice. We want to hear from you on Kibla FM. Open political discussion. Brother from South Africa. So
Yes.
let's take example. His Excellency President Nana Addo did reference the ANAS, strategy or whatever. Say example, yes, he did it. If the president gets a second chance to give another statement regarding corruption, do you think His Excellency Nanado would reference that strategy again? If only if he did use it, then do you think he would repeat it now? That's my question.
I doubt very much if he will do that.
Why?
I doubt.
Why?
I doubt. Yes, because given the allegations that have been leveled against Anas, and including the evidences provided, one cannot really, trust Anas. I use myself as an example. I used to love the guy so much until when Kennedy Agyapong brought out those evidences against him. Because I remember Kennedy Agyapong alleged that Anas is hoodwinking people and taking their lands, And indeed, some few weeks back, we saw some footages, even though it's debatable as to whether it's Anas or not.
Right.
But such things raises an alarm. You see? And then I also saw the video of Hafiz saying that he's ready to confront Anas regarding the corrupt activities that happened, and him, Anas, bribing the judge in order to kill the case. And the case was dead indeed. So when you look at all those things and you piece them together, you are in a difficulty to really support what Anas is doing. And I keep repeating, Brother, I'm not saying the gentleman has never done any good work. I mentioned the Tamahabo incident. I mentioned the albinos. He did some good work. And the ones that he did well, he caught those people in the act. He caught them in the act. And that is what a good investigative journalist does. You catch the person in the act.
So the Honorable MP, the info, the videos, the images you saying helped, change your view of Aremeyaw Anas. You don't see him the same way as you did years back. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Those images has really changed my... they were so revealing.
Hey, there's a comment.
I think it was... I think... Sorry?
There's a comment here. A gentleman listening again. No, this one is from the Bronx in New York. He said, this guy, appears his name. He said, I like this guy from South Africa because he says the truth, just like Kennedy Agyapong. So, he says, the gentleman says, you say the truth, just like Kennedy Agyapong. Oh boy, that call dropped. So we have extended this program. So if you're listening, hit the like button on our YouTube channel. The like button, just hit it. Like this transmission, and also subscribe, because we have so much more to come on Kibla FM Political Open Discussion. It's about you, the listeners. We want to hear what you got to say, because you matter. Your voice pushes all these people. Believe it or not, you have the power, the strength. So your viewpoints are vital. So we would like you to call into our programs, Political Open Discussion, and let them know what you think. So the gentleman is saying the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is a straightforward man, and that he had helped change his view. He does not see Anas the same way as he did in the past, says the gentleman who called from South Africa. The caller from Atlanta, take another minute and wrap up your statement, and we about to get off air. So go ahead.
Now, thank you one more time. I respect my brother from South Africa. Let me tell him, Anula, I'm a product of Tamasco, Tamale Secondary School.
Okay.
Has been there for 10 years, and my grandparents are the Gombes just like him.
Okay.
I don't think even in the beginning he's a loyal lover of Hanas. He lied, or he's a hypocrite. Let me defend myself. For an example, Kibla FM, I've been with Kibla FM from day one. So somebody should accuse Kibla FM of something right now. It is up to me to ask the person, you the one accusing the Kibla FM, you also, are you 100%? If you are not 100%, there is no way I will leave Kibla FM and come to you. So keep your right or keep your wrong. I will still keep my wrong and right of Kibla FM. I'll still be with them. For me to love Anas from the one, I'm still with Anas a lot till death.
Mm.
The way Anas operates, does his operation, yesterday is still the same as going to be tomorrow. President Akufo-Addo was aware of that. Tema Harbor incident was even worse. It was camera set up in the offices, worse than this. And yet he said he's gonna use his tactics. Should President Addo come and change his position, it means he flip-flop. Meaning he didn't know what he said in the beginning, because operation of criminal investigation journalists method that Anas does is still accepted and enshrined within the Constitution until the law of Ghana bring Anas to justice and say, hey, the way you operate does not tally with the Constitution, or it does not work with the journalist principles. Until then, all that he is saying, that method Anas uses is fake. That's his idea. That's his fiction. That's his what was the name? Opinion. It's not fact. But the fact that still Anas uses that method, that principles, as President Akufo-Addo said, and there is no law to say, hey, it is against way of reporting, meaning it's still relevant. In conclusion, there's nothing I will say further. I think I've made of all my points. Thank you. I thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate your contribution, gentlemen from Atlanta, Georgia. Just wow. Wow. You know, opinions varies. You know, you have yours, I have mine, they have theirs. Agree to disagree. Political open discussion on Kibla FM. The opinions and statements, comments, blah, 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 are those of the callers. So they have theirs. That's their views. Not necessarily endorsed or supported by Kibla FM. So individually, people have their own freedom of expression. And you've heard it. So if you do not like what you heard, call in and deliver your own. You know, it's open discussion. So people have their own view. The Honorable Agyapong, MP, Ghana, and the gentleman Aremeyaw, Anas, investigative journalist. You know, they're pointing fingers. But time will tell. Because by the day, we're getting more footages, you know, videos, photos, we're getting audios, things are coming out. So we don't know where this would end. But one thing though, Kibla FM will keep you updated. Kibla FM will keep you updated. So if you're listening, subscribe to Kibla FM on YouTube and also, you know, like this transmission. Hit the like button because we need to know that you are with us. So hit the like button. And also follow Kibla FM on Facebook. So like the Facebook page, follow that Facebook page, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, the opinions are independent. Nothing to do with me, Kibla FM. So if you heard anything that is disturbing to you or that you do not agree with, then just accept it. It's just an opinion. My name is Fuad Omar. Log on to our website, www.kiblafm.com, and access our resources. Until our next presentation, I greet all of you, and I say have a good night from Kibla FM. Peace.